Hi to my beautiful friends. Thank you for joining me. Here we are, we're in California at a nursery, and because we're talking about narcissism, I wanted to show you a Narcissus plant, flower, because it was named after the Narcissus, who the disorder was named after. And so I'll tell you a little bit about about that Greek myth. There was a beautiful man, and he was with a woman, and they were having a picnic or something by a park, and he happened to see a pond, and he looked in the pond, and he saw a vision that he absolutely fell in love with. And he said, "Oh my God, this is like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." And after he saw that, he couldn't ever really love anyone else. And the vision was actually a reflection of himself. So he fell in love with himself. And the story has it that in fact he starved and he couldn't sleep and he couldn't eat because he was just so in love with this vision. And all he did was just stare at it. Now, they said he just died that way, and that either he came back as a Narcissus flower, or he, I don't know, or where his body was anyway, it sprouted. When I was a little girl and I read that myth, I heard that he actually he leaned over and he wanted to hug and kiss the reflection of himself. Isn't that silly? And he fell into the water, and that's how he died. He drowned. But anyway, either way, it's narcissists, and there's psychological aspects to narcissism, and we're going to talk about the spiritual aspects. But the psychological aspects are that a narcissist is very self-absorbed, and they're very selfish, and they feel very entitled, and they're very superior, and so they become obsessive. And they fantasize about their success and their brilliance and their all of their power and acclaim and everything. And what they do is when they're in relationships with other people, they breadcrumb. So what they do is they're very strategic, and they see someone who is maybe a little naive or innocent or kind or loving, and they don't respect those traits at all, because they see that that's prey for them. And so what happens is they can breadcrumb the person. So they give them little affirmations of oh yes, oh you're so pretty, or oh you're this, but then they insult you. So they go from fawning over you to like really hating on you actually, and they kind of see how much you're going to take before you put a stop to it. And unfortunately many people don't put a stop to it, and they end up spending their lives with someone who's very narcissistic. And so and they're very strategic, the narcissists. They can be very aggressive, and so partners stay with them because out of fear, and they slowly erode your self-esteem. So they tell you, you can't do anything without me, and there's a lot of emotional blackmail and things like that. They actually, I just read this, that they can be very good lovers, because that's one of the ways that they're very strategic, and that's one of the ways that they kind of draw people in and keep them there, because the sex is good. And so so some people stay for that, I guess. And so they're very controlling, though. And so if we, and there's no cure for narcissism. You can't have, it's nothing you see on an MRI or any blood work. There's no blood test to diagnose a narcissist. So that's kind of like the psychological approach to it. And then the spiritual approach is totally different. Because if in fact you believe, as I believe, that we have incarnated at this point in time, the evolution of the planet and the evolution of the collective and of humanity itself, that we are here, and we have incarnated with other souls. And it's kind of a collaborative co-creation, because our soul seeks to experience certain things and seeks to grow, because the soul wants to expand and raise its vibration to its highest potential. for this lifetime. And so if in fact that's your belief, then and you're here on this planet in, one of gazillion planets, in this Milky Way galaxy, one of gazillion galaxies, and in this universe, one of gazillion universes. So there's no mistake why you're here, and there's no mistake that you meet the people that you meet during this incarnation, because you each have a gift for each other. The tragedy is that the narcissist doesn't see you as a gift. The narcissist has such a void within their soul. It's almost like an abyss. No matter what they do, no matter how much they can take from you, no matter how demeaning they can be, no matter how hurtful they can be, no matter, in estate issues, it's not like, 50-50, or in divorce 50-50, or if, you were to share your estate with a sibling, they'll take it all when you're not looking. And they'll hire a team of attorneys who will, have no conscience and will use our legal system, as in family law as well, use our legal system in order to thieve other people. And so it's that's life on planet Earth. It's not fair. And yet when we think about the issues that people have on planet Earth, we're all learning. We're all children. And sometimes children go through that age where, they don't want to share their toys, or they want to take from other people. They want to take from other kids. And so that's kind of where a lot of unevolved people are. And so, but the goal of having incarnations is that we evolve, so our soul expands and we become kinder and gentler people, and we see the beauty in everything, and we treat our fellow man much better, and we treat our fellow man as we choose to be treated, and we treat our animals kinder. And that's kind of the whole vegetarian, vegan thing. It's just seeing everything that's alive. And here I am at a nursery, and I will show you this beautiful tree trunk that grew actually around a basket. So you just have to see it because it's spectacular. So this is one of the baskets, and then this is the tree trunk. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see this amazing tree trunk? You see my shadow, but it is just the most amazing tree. Let's see if you can see it. But it's hundreds of years old, I'm told. And then I'll show you, there's a twin flame tree trunk, which I happened to see, and I thought, that was pretty exciting. But anyway, we'll get back to the Narcissist. Let's see. So here's the twin flame tree trunk. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yes? Yes? Do you see that? Isn't that neat? So, and this tree is, let's see, how do I get it? Yes. Well, this is a beautiful tree. Anyway, I came here, I think I told you, I came here because I wanted to show you what a Narcissus flower is. But anyway, so as we think about the sadism involved in narcissists and how they treat others, some psychologists believe that, there's a sadist and they choose a masochist. Well, I think that's really putting a lot of undue blame on kind, loving souls, because a lot of people don't have the skills, the discernment to see that this person is a narcissist, because they are so strategic, and they do, they're very slick, and they buy you lots of presents, and they say the right things, and do all the right things for you, and you think, oh my gosh, this is my knight in shining armor, and yet meanwhile, it's quite a different story. But so it's not a sadist and a masochist. I think sometimes a narcissist can be very strategic and the victim is not a masochist. The victim was just taken in, and it's an opportunity. If you think about the spiritual aspect, it's an opportunity for the person that's involved with the narcissist to empower herself or himself, and to take her power, to be strong, and to let the relationship go. And because there's no cure, as we said, for narcissism. And in fact, so we have the concept of duality on this planet. If in fact we believe that we came to this planet and we are here as a soul tribe, and all the people that we've met here, we co-create our experiences so that we can learn, so that we can either clear karma or so that we can raise our vibration and learn different things here that we need in order to evolve. And so as we do that, we encounter, we experience the duality of the world. And the duality is such that if all you did was live in an igloo and touch things that were cold, you wouldn't know that that was cold, because you would think that that's just normal, right? But in fact, if all of a sudden then somebody like lights a match and like pokes you with it or something, or touches your finger with it, then you're like, oh my gosh, that's really hot. And so you experience both. And so that's what it is with in this world. You can't really appreciate your kindness and your gentleness and all your wonderful qualities if in fact you've been around so many wonderful people. And I think that's what happens when we grow up in really good functional homes. All of a sudden we go out into the world and we're kind of blindsided because we never knew that people would behave that way. And so we're here to learn. We are infants as human beings, and this is a very young planet, in Milky Way galaxies and universes all over the place. And so let's see, what else can I tell you? I think what we're here to learn is detachment. And detachment is about detaching from those whose behavior is not in our highest good. And so it's about letting it go. As the Buddha said, the root of all suffering is attachment. And so it's about just detaching. And the people that are narcissists want attention. They crave attention, and they need that supply. And if in fact you detach, then you've cut that off. And so you're healing yourself. And because the narcissist it's very pathetic. It's an illness, and they like to cause pain. And it's really abusive. And so you need to let them go because they need to heal themselves. And there is a spiritual teacher whose quote I just love. I mean, he has this, and he talks about people that wound other people, that hurt other people. And it's about what hurts you so much that you think you have to hurt me in order for you to feel better. Really? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Because people are clueless. They don't even, they're so unevolved. And it's all about greed and power and control, and I want this and I want that, and the more you lose, the more their victory, the greater their victory, and that's not what life is about. And so in order for you to not allow your world to be polluted like that, you have to just let them go. And it's almost like teaching them, if they want you in their world, then their behavior has to change. But if they don't want you in their world, they can continue to be abusive and go abuse somebody else. And so I think that's basically what I have to say. And if there's anything that I forgot, I will tell you again tomorrow. So anyway, I want to show you this beautiful nursery and these here's some cactus, and I'm not even in Arizona now. These are some pretty amazing cactus, aren't they? And this, oh my goodness, look at this one. And look at the leaves on this one. And there are some really interesting cacti like this. And there are so many beautiful trees. And here, I'll show you. This is the nursery. And so, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And I will thank you for being here. And I hope I made some sense in terms of narcissism. And stay strong and be empowered. And don't let anybody put you down, okay? Because you are a beautiful creation of the Most High. And so, anyway, I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.